Tonia, you've thought about Canada
Yes.
with these vaccine mandates, and it's a story we've been covering this morning. So the Prime Minister there, he's had to flee Ottawa. A truck convoy is blocked in Ottawa. We have the pictures there.
Here we
you
go.
can see that's the story there. This is the Telegraph, page 17, and this is actually what happened.
Over 50,000 of these huge trucks have descended, and because the government have overreached, they're overreaching their powers of control. They're pushing people to do things they don't want to do. They are mandating people's civil liberties, and they've had enough. And so the truckers have stood up. And you know, we're one of the only channels showing this, because the mainstream media seem to have ignored it. This is the first time I've seen it in the paper, which is wonderful. And, you know, you have to take on what the people want. The governors are there in the democratic world to do as the people want, and the people have spoken. They do know what vaccine mandates.
I think a lot of this is incredibly dangerous. There's that thing we always used to talk about, the social contract, which is this idea that your government has to act in your interests, has to reflect the will of the people. This idea of constantly beating people down, locking them up, placing you under house arrest for being near somebody who fell ill, which was happening at one point, this is a way that will sow social division and potentially lead to things like violence. I think a lot of what we saw with the Black Lives Matter riots, I'm not talking about the legitimate protests, but the riots were young people having been locked up for 6 months, 8 months, a year.
Andre, you get a load of people who will absolutely agree with what you're saying there, and you get a load of people saying, but that's what the government are doing. They are protecting us. We are looking to them to do the right thing.
And that would be a reasonable point. The problem is you cannot continue with such a large number of people who are disenfranchised. That is a recipe for significant social problems. Even if some of the policies you're putting forward are reasonable or fair, the fact that you've got a huge percentage of the population angry about it is dangerous in
It is, and the government spent 400 million on fear factoring people, so that's why people are so frightened at the moment. You know, if you really took it and did it normally, then it's much more dangerous to get into a car than it is to be young and come near COVID.
Although
We've
it is
got to
very
get things
dangerous
in
getting into a
proportion.
car.
We have to get things into proportion, and we have to decide what we want to do. Personally, we don't live in a totalitarian world. We're supposed to live in democracy. You know, I'm the type of person who likes to get into ice baths and ski down mountains. Well, you might not want to do that, but that's my choice.
No, I had my feet in the ice water over the weekend. I'm in up to the ankles,
Okay.
shins now.